So what do you do when you have a really rough travel day? I'm popping on here kind of on the fly on my phone because that today was one of those days for me. So I thought, why not get on here and talk about it a little bit. So I am Dawn Peck Benson. I'm a self-discovery travel coach, traveler, and a writer. And I am currently in the country of Albania. And you know, sometimes when you travel on your own, you just wake up, like today I woke up in kind of a funk. Just almost feeling like, I don't know, like everything's off. You know how you feel sometimes in life, like, you know, am I ever gonna get to where I wanna be? Am I ever gonna, live that life that I imagine? And today, for whatever reason, I woke up feeling like all those things are impossible. Even though I am currently in a foreign country and have a beautiful view, I still woke up in a funk. And so what do you do when that happens? I don't think there's a right answer, but I think that that you listen to yourself. And so I took things a little bit slow this morning. I pulled the covers back over my head, slept a little bit longer, and then finally decided, okay, I need to take a shower. So I did that. Of course, the water wasn't working well for some reason today, and at first when I tried to take the shower, there was no water. Luckily, it only lasted for like 5 minutes, but I was like, of course there would be no water, right? So, the first thing I did was I just gave myself a break. I tried to be compassionate and say, you know what, sometimes we have rough days, and today might just be one of those. But then I also know for myself that sometimes getting up and walking, I noticed when I jumped back in bed, kind of crawled back in bed, that I had a lot of big feelings moving around inside of me. And I don't even think I realized it. Sometimes we don't realize that when we're traveling, we're distracted by all the other things. And there are times where, this is what happens. You wake up and all the things that you haven't been thinking about because you've been distracted traveling, suddenly all come at you. So for me, I know that when I have big feelings, that walking is really helpful. So I luckily am in a place where there's a really long promenade right along the sea. And so that's what I did. I made myself get dressed. I didn't put much makeup on, as you can tell. I did bare minimum. I didn't get dressed fancy or anything. And I just went for a walk along the promenade. I turned music on. I got my headphones, turned some music on, cried half of the way down the promenade. But when I did that, that's when I also, I was just letting those feelings out that maybe I hadn't been processing. So they just kind of came out. And I let myself do that. I was a little embarrassed, when you're walking and you have tears in your eyes, you're like, I hope people don't notice. But I just let myself walk for a couple of miles probably, listening to music. And then I decided I wanted to get a coffee. Coffees always make me happy. You can choose your drink of choice, but macchiatos here make me happy. So I decided, this is another thing I do, is I often just sort of pay attention to my intuition, and often I come across a place and I'm like, that's where I want to go. So I did that this time. I walked in. Actually didn't go inside. I sat outside. The place was on the promenade, so I had a beautiful view of the water. Ordered a macchiato, and the woman who served me was just so lovely. She smiled, welcomed me, wanted to know where I was from, got excited when I told her I was an American, because I guess she really wants to come to the US. And it was just really nice to have friendly face, someone to just be friendly and smile and ask you questions. And so that was super helpful. And what I also noticed, I also did some journaling, and I just kept walking because today I felt like my body just needs to move out there's feelings inside that need to go out. And so I just kind of kept walking and walking and watching people along the way, enjoying the beauty, and just letting my whatever comes to mind, whatever feelings I have, kind of flow out. And one of those things that I particularly was feeling was, like I said earlier, a little feeling of like, am I ever almost futility? Like I can't get to where I want to be. Like I have this ideal and it's not happening, and it's scary. You know, as you get older, it's like you have all these ideas of who you're going to be and what you're going to be doing and how much money you're making or whatever those things are for you when you're in your 50s and 60s, and when are you going to retire and all those things. So you have these ideals, and if you get to that age and you're not exactly what you thought you were, or you feel like maybe everyone around you is further, it can be really hard. And so I realized that's kind of what I was feeling. I almost was feeling like disempowered. And, you know, and honestly, when we really think about that disempowered feeling, I do believe that we always have choices. So we're not always as disempowered as we feel. And I suspected that. Yeah, I felt like, oh my gosh, you know, the cards seem stacked against me somehow for my plans. I don't know, raise your eye, like if you guys felt that way before. I hope I'm not, I don't think I'm the only one. But so what occurred to me as I was on my way back is that I hadn't taken the bus here yet, the city bus that takes you from, you know, the main promenade into the center. And so I decided I'm gonna get on the bus. I know that that's tiny, but that's also a thing that we can do when we're having a rough day, is to do something small that reminds us of who we are, our power, our abilities. And so I know that it's tiny, but me getting on that bus and knowing how to pay the guy and getting the ticket and then getting off the bus in the right spot and not getting absolutely lost, it shifted a little bit of something in me. It did make me feel, it reminded me that I do have power in my life and that I can do things that seem scary. And you know, it does seem scary when you're not familiar with a bus to just hop on and you're like, okay, what if I don't know where to get off? So anyway, I just wanted to pop on and share some of that. If you ever are traveling and are having a rough time, you know, I guess my takeaways would be, the first thing is to just let yourself have your feelings, right? If you need to do what I did and put the covers back over my head for a while, then do it, you know, and then like, or if you want to go for a walk like I did next, to kind of work out what's going on. But it's okay. First of all, it's okay to have like an off day that just doesn't feel right. And so those are a little bit of my takeaways, is just sort of let yourself have that feeling, lean into those feelings. And then also, if there is something that you can do that maybe reminds you of who you are, your abilities, the power that you have, the knowledge, you know, whatever that is, you know, as small as, you know, me taking a bus, just that small little piece that can remind us of who we are and the amazing people that we are and our capabilities. So I hope that is helpful to you. Again, my name is Dawn Pick Benson. I'm a self-discovery travel coach, and if you have any more questions for me or thoughts on what I had to say, or if you have ideas, because we all have these bad days and I'd love to hear your ideas. So if you have ideas, pop those in the comments. You can contact me, email me directly as well. Always happy to hear from you. Have a great day.